Greetings, my friends. Please make certain that you are still subscribed to this channel because every day I'm hearing from other people that they have been unsubscribed without their knowledge by YouTube. And if you are not subscribed, please consider supporting this channel. We need you. Thank you. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and I come to you today with a new rumor regarding Pedro Pascal. Pascal has been the source of a lot of controversy lately. With one Instagram post, Pascal managed to alienate around 40 to 50% of the country with a slander that I will not repeat here. And before that, Pascal stirred up a lot of resentment in Star Wars fandom when news leaked that he had pitched a fit and left the show because he hated the idea of never taking off his helmet. It was assumed that Pascal was simply behaving as a spoiled, overpaid prima donna, a temperamental actor motivated by the vain desire to have face time on the show, even though he knew what he was getting into when he signed his contract, at which point he was informed that he would not be removing his helmet. This didn't sit well with Star Wars fans. In a time of massive unemployment and layoffs, it seemed ungrateful of Pascal to try and renege on his deal. My viewers were writing me, telling me he was a worthless, spoiled Hollywood star who ought to be grateful he gets to make tons of money playing pretend as the star of a TV show. Well, my friends, while there is certainly an element of truth in that view, my agents have provided me with a very telling new rumor about what really happened on the set of The Mandalorian, and let me assure you, if this rumor is true, you have only been told half of the story. At this point, I must tell you that what you're about to hear is information I have been provided that I cannot independently verify, and although it has been sent to me by my usual agents who have proven to be very reliable in the past, I must ask you to consider what I'm about to tell you as rumor, and to take it with a grain of salt. So just to set the stage here, for those of you not familiar with the show, on Disney Plus, Pedro Pascal plays the titular character, the Mandalorian. All through Season 1, we were told that Mandalorians do not ever remove their helmets in the presence of others. This was something of a puzzle for longtime Star Wars fans during Season 1, since in Rebels and the Clone Wars, Mandalorians removed their helmets all the time. Only now, in Chapter 11, has the truth come out. Pedro Pascal's Mandalorian is part of a particular sect called the Children of the Watch. These particular Mandalorians do not remove their helmets for two reasons. The first reason is that according to the lore of his people, Mandalore was said never to have removed his helmet, and therefore no true Mandalorian following in his footsteps should. The second reason has nothing to do with lore, but with show business. According to my sources, Favreau and Filoni never want the Mandalorian to remove his helmet because it's a callback to the Lone Ranger. Many was the time the Lone Ranger blew into a little western town and then saved it, and the creative team likes the mystery of grateful townspeople and admiring women asking, as they watch his cloud of dust rise, "Say, who was that masked man?" Now it turns out that the Mandalorian grew up not realizing he was in a particular sect that had unusual beliefs. The Mandalorian grew up thinking that all Mandalorians never took their helmets off. Pedro Pascal thought the same thing, and that's where the trouble began. My agents tell me that Disney did not want this story to get out, that they just want to forget all about this incident. But as much as I don't like Pedro Pascal for the asinine and hurtful things he has tweeted out and posted on Instagram, I feel as if a bit of an injustice has been done to him, and so I want to set the record straight. This is a rumor, yes, but even so, it makes so damn much sense. I think when you hear this, you'll agree it's all too plausible. According to a source with knowledge of the production, when Pedro Pascal signed his contract, he was under the belief that no Mandalorians were ever going to remove their helmets, and this would apply to all Mandalorian characters on the show moving forward. Alas, when Pedro got his first read of the script for Chapter 11, introducing Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan, he was pissed to see that in fact there were going to be Mandalorians taking off their helmets, and he wasn't one of them. Now, Pedro Pascal has had a long series of, shall we say, disappointments on The Mandalorian. In Season 1, he was shown up by fan favorite Gina Carano as Cara Dune, and even worse, Baby Yoda was such a big hit, people have jokingly called this the Baby Yoda Show. And for good reason. Baby Yoda is the undisputed breakout character of the show, generating toys and memes galore, leaving Pedro Pascal buried in a metal mask that was at least able to hide his rage at playing second fiddle on his own show to a girl and a puppet. Once Pedro got a load of Katie Sackhoff getting to take off her helmet, along with 2 other Mandalorians going full Monty faceless, he started trying to change the situation. As the previous rumor suggested, he went to Jon Favreau, to George Lucas, to Bob Iger and Bob Chapek, though tellingly, when asked if Pedro Pascal went to plead his case to Kathleen Kennedy, the source replied, quote, "He knows better than to go to her," unquote. And that was a direct quote. But regardless of whom he petitioned, Pedro Pascal didn't get anywhere, and I am told it is at that point he got hard to work with. Showing up late, blowing lines, grumbling, basically doing everything he could to register his displeasure with the process. This went on until one day, finally, something happened that he couldn't stand, and that's when he blew his top. According to this source, one day during shooting, Hasbro brought samples from the new Mandalorian toy line to the set to show them off. Everything looked good until Pedro removed his figure's helmet, and the face underneath it looked really, really bad. That right there was the final humiliation, and so Pedro more or less lost it. All the previous frustration reportedly poured out of him. He started venting to cast and crew for a while until finally it escalated into a yelling match, at which point Pedro was told to leave the set. Now, I reported on this rumor a few months back. Grace Randolph had broken a version of the story, but my sources had a different take on the incident with more detail, and I went with it. But of all the rumors I've heard, this one makes the most sense to me now that I've seen Chapter 11. Consider this. You're an actor who signs up to play a Mandalorian who never removes his helmet, being told that no Mandalorian will ever remove his helmet. All well and good. Now you watch a puppet surpass you in popularity on the show, and then you watch a female MMA fighter eclipse you in popularity on the show, all because your hands are tied. You're hamstrung and unable to give the nuance of facial expressions to your character. This is a hard thing to accept, but accept it you do. Until, son of a bitch, here comes a group of Mandalorians who do take off their helmets, and one of them is the amazing and much-loved Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica, Clone Wars, and Rebels. Turns out what you were told was a load of hooey. But, oh yeah, too bad. You still have to keep your helmet on, Chief. And watch now as Katie Sackhoff becomes the newest breakout star of the show. And then all during the episode, she rescues your helmeted ass, and you're always bringing up the rear as she blows stuff up on your own show? This new bit of information, in my opinion, casts Pascal's reaction in a new light. I do not like Pascal personally because of his antics and slanders, but hearing this, I felt I needed to set the record straight in the spirit of fairness. His politics and actions aside, which I do not approve of, as an actor I would be pretty damn upset under those circumstances because that wasn't the deal I signed up for. Being told that no Mandalorian would take off their helmet, and then boom, Katie Sackhoff does a helmet striptease on my show. Not much joy in Mudville, no. So there you have it, my friends. Consider this a rumor until I get more verification, but this is one of those rumors that, at least on the surface, makes a lot of sense. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.